Good afternoon. We want to give you some information to the Adam Matos case. As you know, he's been charged with 4 degrees of first-degree murder. We've been working with the state attorney's office in this case side by side, because the biggest thing right now is that we provide justice for the families of the victims. As you know, there's been 2 separate cases that we had worked. The Ambler Alert looking for little Tristan, and then the homicide investigation. We are very blessed that Tristan is safe and sound. I can tell you that he is with family out of state, and our sheriff's office is still talking to them to make sure he's okay. Our victim advocates have been working with the family members on this case. In regards to the homicide, we've sat with the family members of Nick Leonard. We've been correspondents with the other family members, and it is a tragic situation for them. And the one thing we promised them is that we're going to do everything possible to bring justice for them, because the victims of cases are always usually the ones that are forgotten, the family members. And we want to make sure that there is justice brought for them. Our forensics unit was out there for 5 days. Day in and day out, I give our forensic investigators incredible kudos for what they did, persevering through the severe heat, the weather, the rain. They did an outstanding job, because like these detectives, like their unit, we have one goal right now, and that is to make sure that Adam Matos is brought to justice, and that the justice he gets is what he will deserve. There's a lot of things today in this case we can't talk about because it still is an ongoing investigation. There's a lot of follow-ups. There's a lot of things going on. The one thing I want to make sure, because I know there's rumors out there about other suspects, there's only one suspect in this homicide investigation. That's Adam Matos. So I want to make sure that everybody's aware. We have the person we are looking for. There is nothing in our investigation that leads us to any other names. In regards to this case, as I said, there's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of things that we cannot share, but we have our detectives here. This is really for you to ask us questions, and we'll be more than happy to answer them.
Sure. I have a question about what transpired after that initial report was made on the 28th on the aggravated assault. Just looking at the report, it seems that no further action will be taken pending talking to Matos. And what actions did the sheriff's office take after that incident to make contact with him? Did they stop by the house? Did they alert other deputies? We're looking for this guy. Just trying to figure out what actions were taken after that, because he was obviously at this house, for quite some time, ordering pizza and selling pets, according to the arrest affidavit.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's been coming up. The question is, what happens in these cases? This is a domestic incident. The sheriff's office got called out there around 6 o'clock in the morning. We had numerous people in that squad respond. There was people searching that area. We went out there. We spoke to the victim at the time. She relayed to us what had occurred. For our deputy on scene, let me tell you, he was trying to do the right thing. He wanted to do a full investigation. The suspect was not there. He wanted to get all the information. The suspect had left. That's why he had people out there circulating the area. At the time, at the house was Megan's father, Gregory, and her mother, Margaret. They were there. The deputy asked her, do you want to go to a shelter? Can I give you information for a shelter? She declined. I can tell you that he gave her a victim booklet, which has the information about shelters. He gave her the case number, a business card, and his own personal information. Around 9:15 that morning, we got another call from Nick Leonard. Our deputy responded to the scene. Nick Leonard had thought that the domestic incident that occurred at 6 o'clock had just happened around 9 o'clock when he was informed from his girlfriend. Our deputy went back out to the scene. He talked to her. They had a conversation. She correlated, no, the incident that occurred at 6 o'clock is not the one that Nick is, at 9 o'clock. That never happened. Nick had his information mixed up. Nick thought that, the incident was ongoing, which it wasn't. It happened several hours ago. Throughout the day, I know, from the investigation and from what you're gathering also, is that there was numerous calls from the suspect to Megan and to Margaret. And so there was a lot of correspondence. So let me tell you, the sheriff's office, we did not get any response back. At that time, if somebody's getting that many calls, if they feel threatened, we as a sheriff's office want people to contact us. If we had been contacted and we knew there was that type of level of people reaching out, 200 times, that's what we were told, and that's what we're still investigating, yes, we would have sent somebody immediately back into the house working with her to try to find out what is going on. But from the sheriff's office perspective, we had no relationship back that Adam was going back towards the house. There was another thing, too, is that 3 o'clock that afternoon, Megan had reached out to her boss, and her boss had offered shelter to say, look, why don't you stay with me? She declined. You know, so from a sheriff's office perspective, we were out there looking. He had relayed to his squad was on scene. They knew we were looking. The reason why the deputy had kept this case open, his case wasn't closed. He kept it open. He actually wanted to go speak to the suspect. He wanted to try to work this case himself. So, you know, I give, you know, that deputy, you know, he wanted to do the right thing. This is law enforcement. You know, we live in a world of gray. You know, right, wrong, indifferent. As long as our deputies are doing what is right, I'm going to protect them and back them to the bitter end. This deputy tried to do the right thing. It's an unfortunate incident, but let us never forget, the person who killed 4 people is Adam Matos. If that's forgotten, you know, then I think that is a sad fact. But I can tell you, we as a sheriff's office, I'm proud of our deputy who was out there. He worked hard. He tried to do the right thing. And you know what? And for the victim of this case, it's a horrific ending. And blame will never, ever go to a victim. We just want every woman out there to know that if you're in a very dangerous situation, please keep calling the sheriff's office. If somebody is harassing you or stalking you, call us immediately. We have a very good proven record of defending women against men out there.
Sheriff, I don't know if you can address this, Sheriff.
Which one?
I don't know if you can address this or the detectives, but can you talk about the murders? 2 beaten, 2 shot. What order did this all happen? I mean, was he going from room to room? What was the scenario here?
Hi, everybody. First of all, my name is Detective Chet Cogill, C-O-U-G-I-L-L. I'm the lead investigator, along with Detective Sean Kennedy. As far as the actual circumstances that took place at the residence, that part is still undergoing. We have to do physical evidence check with FDLE to try to determine who was where. We have evidence from the scene. Everything is ongoing, and we just can't tell you what order they were killed, what kind of instruments were used. We just don't have that information right now. It's all being tested.
Murder weapon yet?
We have an idea, but I don't want to give you guys something that might be something different. So all I can tell you, everything's being tested.
Was Montez licensed to carry a firearm?
I don't know that, ma'am.
Was the arrest warrant for Matos issued for the aggravated assault, was that issued for him after the bodies were found or prior to the bodies being found after that initial incident?
Why did it take so long to get charges brought on these 4 homicides?
We wanted to make sure we had all the right information. It took a little while to gather information at the scene. It was a methodical search at the house, methodical search at the scene where the bodies were found. Once we gathered, we had to go out and locate garbage men, pizza delivery people. I mean, it took a little while with all of our resources to go out and locate everybody, so it just took a little while. Accurate information is what we were looking for before we made the arrest.
See, it sounds like Matos was able to get away from the scene. When you took the cab, it was only a few blocks from where you guys were. So is there any idea how he, I guess, so easily left without anybody noticing when there was already an Amber Alert?
Right now, we only have a theory about that. We've been out canvassing the neighborhood. We got to continue to go out and speak to people that just aren't home. We have some houses with cameras. We're still trying to locate if anybody has any video footage of it. We just don't know that kind of information right now. Sorry.